Hey friends, I'm back, Billy T Gardens in the kitchen. Last time I showed you how to make peanut butter fudge. This time I'm going to show you how to make hard fudge. And it's a little trickier and a little harder, but I'm going to show you how to do it. But before we get started, if you don't mind, please go down and subscribe. Cost you nothing. Sure appreciate it. Helps more than you know. Helps me expand and grow. It costs you nothing. Like I say many times, probably the only thing this year it's going to cost you nothing, especially with what's coming up. Maybe you feel like you got a bargain. And don't forget to like, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you'll know when my next video comes out. And please comment and share to get my videos around so that I can take off with this and start building, making better videos, better content for you guys and my fans out there. I'm getting a few subscribers here and there, but I'm sure there's people out there that probably watch this because I'm getting more views than subscribers. And if you like my videos, please go down and subscribe. It helps me a lot, and I know what's going on. So if you don't mind, just please take time and do that. If you maybe think you're subscribed and you're not, check. I'd sure appreciate it. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to show you how to make hard chocolate fudge. This is one of my very favorites. So, and one of my most wanted holiday things I make besides the Kentucky cream pulled candy. So show you guys how to do this. Now this takes a little time. It's a little trickier than the peanut butter fudge. Like I said, you want this to set up hard. That's the trick to it. Cook too long, you get a rock. Don't cook long enough, it comes out soft. And I'm guilty of undercooking and overcooking this myself. So let's see how we come out. Show you guys what we got, of course. Okay, we got our pan. I'd like to have a little bit bigger pan than that, but I got stuff in it. It all just comes down to boiling, okay? So first, I'm going to take and I'm going to mix some sugar, which I forgot to get out. My cocoa, I got my milk, my cocoa, my butter, salt, my vanilla extract, and as I said, we're going to need some sugar. So let me remember how much here. I think it's about 3 cups, I believe. So we're going to take and measure out about 3 cups of sugar, and we're going to put it in our pan. And then well, I've already got my finished pan done. It's buttered. Butter that real good and line it with aluminum foil. It helps it come out so much easier, but butter it real good. Spray butter also works, but I just use regular butter because that's what I had. And then we're going to take our sugar, mix her in our cocoa and salt, and put it in our pan. And then we're going to put in our milk. And then we're going to cook this on a medium heat till it reaches a full boil, till it gets about 234 degrees. And I'll show you a trick to this. As far as knowing when it's done, till it gets to the soft ball stage, you know, you drop it in cold water and it makes a soft ball. Or it reaches 234, and we're going to boil this for probably about 30 minutes, 30 minutes. So when it reaches a soft ball stage, we're done. Let it boil slow and easy. Well, you want it to get to a good boil. I'll show you here in a minute. So I'll be right back. Okay, friends, I've got my salt, 1/8 teaspoon of salt. I've got 2/3 cup of baking cocoa, Hershey's baking cocoa, unsweetened, and 3 cups of sugar. And I did end up going and get my 4-quart pan. I cleaned it out. I had some soup in it, I think. But I went on and cleaned it out so that I could make sure this reaches the right bowl. And now what I want to do is I'm going to take whisk and I want to mix this up real good. Mix it up real good in here. Make sure my salt, make sure it's all incorporated really well. Like so. You know, I watch Derek Bierry on Car Rescue and Vice Grip Garage, and I see him doing so much using, and I'm going to put my milk in here, using one hand to hold his camera and the other hand to, you know, work. And I tell you, it's not as easy as he makes it look. I get very impressed with what he can do with one hand. I guess you just get used to it. He's been on a number of years. See, we're getting it mixed real well. We've got our oven on about medium heat. And now, all we're going to do, I'm going to set my thermometer up here. I've got to scoot it down. I'm going to scoot that down, let it touch, and then we're going to get to 234 and let it boil for a while. So let me get that done, and I'll be back. Okay, I'll show you my setup here. I got my thermometer. Let's see, go. My thermometer set up. We're going to get that to about 234 over here. And we got our mix going. So we want to let this get to a hard boil, then boil it for a while till we reach a 234, or I'm doing it two ways. I'm going to use a softball stage. I'll show you what I mean here in a little bit. I'm going to use that, and I got some powder that didn't want to. Let me get another utensil for that. Let me get another utensil like this so I can make sure these edges are scraped. Make sure your edges are scraped good to make sure all your chocolate is in there. Like so. See there. Oh, my thermometer fell out. I figures. Let me get this scraped off here first. And like I said, we're going to let this get to a good boil for about 30 minutes or so, or till it reaches a softball stage. Then we'll take it off and add our butter and our vanilla. But that's not all there is to it. After we get it cooked, we're going to let this set for till temperature comes down to 110, and it's going to come down on its own. So this does take a while. So when we get close, I'll show you guys where we're at. So I'll be right back. Okay, friends, we're getting there. We are at about 100, and we're starting to get a little bit of a boil. It'll come on here soon. And like I say, once it gets to, if you want to know how to check your thermometer, I tell you what I do. I've got 2 or 3, and they do go bad. You know, you want to replace them every other year. So every year is actually best. I haven't yet, but I tell you how I check them. I know what my oven sets to. If I put it on 325, it's 350 degrees. So if I put it on 200, then 250, then I know it's between 225 and 275. So what I do is I take 2 thermometers, or maybe 3, and I put them on the edge of a pan, and I put about 1 inch of water in that pan. And then I'll put them in the oven, and I'll let that oven stay on for half hour, for maybe an hour. Make sure it checks them. And then I'll open it and check to see you know, if my thermometers are close to that temperature that my oven is. And the one that's the closest, I know that that's my better thermometer. The one that's the furthest, I know it's my worst thermometer. And this one here seemed to be pretty close. So now we're coming to a pretty good boil. Once we boil and get the temperature and boil it for a while, then we're going to take it off and we're going to add our butter and our vanilla, but we're not going to mess with it. We want the temperature to come down to about 110 degrees on its own. Don't chill it. Set it on the counter. Let this cool on its own. You don't want to rush it. If you rush the cooking process or cooling process, it won't come out right. It won't harden right. So, and like I say, this is spelled on me. So that's why I'm using a softball stage and a thermometer both. So we've got a pretty good boil. As you see, we're still not up to temperature. We're at about 150 or so. So like I said, check your thermometers that way. Or like I did, I used the air fryer. I set it on a temperature, then I used the oven both. And I come to find out that this thermometer is the closest in temperature. So it's coming on up now. Once it gets to 234, I will let it hold there. It's going to climb on its own. I'll let it hold there and boil for a while till it reaches its softball stage. What you're doing is you're boiling your liquid out, your water out, to make your sugar, your cocoa, and your other ingredients to make them harden up or stiffen up. So like I said, this is a little slower process, takes a little bit more time, but it's worth it to me because I love this stuff. So, and I'm not a humongous sweet eater either. So we're almost at 200. So we're going to go, where's 225? Right in there between 225 and 250 there. That's where we want to be. And I've also found that you can double boil it. Bring it to a good boil, turn it down, bring it back to a boil again. Seems like it works a little better, and I might do that. I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see how we come to it. The consistency will change, but after we put our butter and our vanilla in it, it should start to dull. Instead of having that shiny gloss, it'll dull. And then once it dulls, kind of, you know, like the oatmeal cookies, you'll lose that sheen. And once you do, let me turn my heat up here a little bit because I haven't got there yet. And once you do, then you're there. So we're coming on up, as you see, boiling good. And stir this quite often, you know, to make sure you get everything straight from the sides and stuff. But like I say, once we take this off here, we'll add our butter and vanilla and let it set. Don't stir it in, just let it sit and let it cool itself down to about 110 degrees. And then we're going to whip the fire out of it. We're going to beat the fire out of it. And then it should start to set. Then we'll get it in our pan. Let it cool on its own. Don't rush it. Don't try to put it in the freezer or whatever. Let it cool on its own. If not, the chemical composition don't work right. So the chemicals don't work right. So see, as I stir it, the temperature comes down. Every time I stir it, the temperature is going to come down. So let me get this to about 234. Once I get to my softball stage, I'll show you what I mean. And then we're going to take it off here and then add our butter and our vanilla and let it sit. Like I said, till it comes down to 110 degrees. Then whip the fire out of it. You know, if it's lost that sheen, if it's lost that good sheen, then we know we're right. So I'll be right back. Okay, folks, we're about there. I've got my water. I done checked it once, and we're about there. Let's Stir it here again. Like I said, if we cook it too long, it'll get too hard. We don't want that. And I actually switched thermometers. I grabbed the wrong one and I forgot. See, now I'm worried about that 234, 2 something, you know, like that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take a spoon of this. I'm going to dip it in my water. And I want to see if it makes a soft ball. And when it does, we're good. And look at there, it did. It made a soft ball. So that means we're done. Okay, folks. Okay, friends, I've got it off. I put my butter in it, and I've got my vanilla in it. I've still got my thermometer on. It's about 150. We want to come down to about 110 on its own. And then we're going to beat the fire out of it. See, it's already starting to lose that sheen, what I'm talking about. And once it gets down to temperature on its own, like I say, 100, 110, then we're going to beat the fire out of it. And the stove's off. And then put it in our pan. Like I said, this is, if you think this is hard, this is nothing compared to Kentucky cream pulled candy. A lot of arm work in that one, there is. Sure is, a lot of arm work. But it's well worth it. It looks looking good. So, get my butter around here a little more. Getting about the center there. Let that melt. We're still at about 140 or so. It's looking good. And you know, folks, I tell you something. I've been through a lot of medical problems. And like many people, I ended up an addict. Well, I don't guess I ended up one. I already was one and just didn't know it. I'd always drink a little bit. Never got hooked to it. And doctors started me on pain pills. Well, I'd done the Florida thing when it was going on, and luckily I never went to jail for none of it, thank God. So, you know, through that time, I didn't want to cook, I didn't want to do anything, it just had me consumed. And if you're an addict yourself, you know where I'm coming from. I'm about 15 to 20 years removed or clean now from all of it. I was on it about 5 years. Not as long as many people, but definitely long enough. So, you know, part of addiction is finding a new normal. You've been on the stuff so long, you don't know what normal is anymore. So it's finding a new normal. And I found my new normal of working on things, working on cars, cooking again. And I wouldn't go back to that life for nothing on this earth. Was it hell to get on this side of it? Yes, it was. But it was well worth it. So, just a little note for you out there that have been through it, know what I'm talking about, or going through it. Get through to the other side. Get out of it. Because there's only 3 places you're going to go. Jail, 6 feet under, or out of it. That's it. There's no in between. Trust me. I know. I've lost too many friends to it. And now, this fentanyl crisis has gotten seriously bad, and I want no part of it. So, like I said, I'd done the Florida thing and all that kind of stuff for about 5 years, and that was enough for me. It only took me about 20 tries to recover or get off of it, but I made it. And like I said, I'm about 15 till I could look it up, but something like that, at least 15, going on 20 years. So just wanted to throw that out there to maybe somebody it might help. If you need a little help, want somebody to talk to that's been through it. I'm 52 years old now, so I'm tired of it all. Reach out to me, leave me a comment. I'll get back with you. I'm here to willingly help anyone that would is struggling with it, or what have you. So if you are, reach out. We'll talk. So anyways, back to the program. So we are coming down about 125. We want to come down more. Losing our sheen. And once we lose it and get down to 110 degrees, like I said, I'm going to beat the fire out of it. And then pour it in my pan and let it cool naturally. So let me do that, and I'll be right back. Oh yeah, and I forgot. With the addiction, I did it on my own. No rehab. No help, no nothing. I was always told you get yourself into it, you get yourself out of it. It's the way I was raised, and that's what I've done. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So again, I'll be back. Okay, friends, we're getting really close. Here we go. I'm almost down there. I'm about 120 maybe, so I'm just going to let it come down a tad more. And you see how thick that's gotten? Yep. We're going to beat this until... We're just going to beat it till it loses its shine and starts to really set up. Once it does, we'll go on our pan. So I'm about to start beating this. Once I get it in my pan, because I got to be quick with it, I'll show you what we have. So I'll be back. Okay, friends, we're there. And it's looking pretty good. Look here. This is our fudge. And it's already starting to get hard. Now, I left a little bit out over here. See what we got. And this is still pretty warm. Once it gets cool, it'll be hard and chalky. And it is oh so good. So, there you go. That's how to make hard fudge. Try it. See how it comes out. I've messed it up. Anybody that's done, cooks, has probably messed it up. Got chocolate on my face. So, anybody that has probably messed it up. I know I have. So, try it. Comment. Let me know what you think. If you tried any of my other stuff, try this, see how it comes out. Just follow my directions and you should come out okay. So, till my next cooking video, see what we got going next. I sure appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for the love. Please subscribe, like, share, comment. Sure appreciate it. Let me know what you think. Thanks.